John Adamson, the Rehab and Documentation Guru. I just got off the phone with one of my viewers. By the way, I have done that in the past, and I willingly do that as time allows. And I do that freely. I just want to remind you that I do have an available Patreon, and I think it's on my channel description, and also Venmo, which I put on the end of a couple of my videos, the ones where I use PowerPoint. So if you're willing and able to, support me for my efforts, awesome. But I'm going to keep doing what I do anyway. But anyway, I wanted to discuss real quick an issue that came up in this, and I covered it in part in my video on the Conway Medical Center. The mandate that Conway, which is located in Arkansas, the mandate that they made their COVID vaccine exempt employees. In YouTube, please note that all I'm talking about is COVID vaccine exemption. I'm not talking about whether the COVID vaccines are effective or safe. Nothing. I'm just talking about those that are seeking exemption, since YouTube has a hypersensitivity about anything being brought up. But anyway, so the whole argument by Conway Medical Center was, if you don't take the COVID vaccines because of abortive fetal cell lines, you can't take these other medicines either. And the argument is that these other medicines have been tested on fetal cell lines. And this is completely verifiable through careful searching, which I did for that video, the Conway Medical video, which has PowerPoint slides. So you can verify this very easily. But the advent of these cell lines was well after the establishment of many of these meds that usually make it on these lists of, well, you can't take these meds too. So how would I respond to an employer saying, well, we'll exempt you, but you also have to agree that you're not going to take these other medicines, such as aspirin? And I cover it in that video, but I thought I would just talk about it briefly, independent of the other video. And I would just say this, which is verifiable and true, that the reason I take something like aspirin, let's say as an anti-inflammatory and a painkiller, were well-established uses for aspirin before fetal cell lines were even developed or utilized for testing of pharmaceuticals. And that's what I take them for. Whereas the vaccinations that we have in the United States, and this is verifiable, YouTube, had to have in some way a use of fetal cell lines to be brought to market in some shape or form. That's the way they got to the market so quickly. So this is verifiable. It just takes a little bit of digging, YouTube bots, and so you can see clearly that medicine list that you're given that you can't take if you're going to be exempt from the COVID vaccines is a bunch of hogwash. And here's something to think about too. Suppose all medications, every single medication on the market right now was eventually tested on fetal cell lines, even if it hasn't previously been done. Would that negate your ability to consciously take them? Well, no. They could cook brownies with fetal cell lines. Does that mean that from now on, all brownies are tainted? And I can't eat brownies because somebody, made some with fetal cell lines in them? By no means. And so that argument falls flat. Unfortunately, some will be deceived by it, But check out my Conway Medical video, which dates back, I think, just a few weeks now. And it is a PowerPoint slide presentation because I elaborate a bit on the fetal cell lines and how they impacted pharmaceuticals. YouTube. So anyway, hope you're having a great night. Take care. God bless.